Hi, Movies Epitome here. Today, we are going to give an explanation for a Chilean romantic comedy film called Ugly Me. I wish you'll enjoy this explanation video. Please let us know in the comment section. In the town of Santiago, Chile, lives an astonishingly stunning girl, Amanda. She works for an architectural organization and is superb at her task. One afternoon, Amanda calls her boyfriend Pablo. She desires to visit her buddy Fernanda's birthday celebration collectively with him. What Amanda doesn't realize is that her boyfriend is in Fernanda's bedroom cosplaying as a kitten. As the two speak over the phone, Fernanda distracts Pablo, making him dangle up in a hurry. Seconds later, they by chance name Amanda once more, and she or he hears them moaning and meowing. It doesn't take her lengthy earlier than barging into Fernanda's residence with a shotgun. Upon understanding that they have been caught, Pablo says that he become abducted. However, Amanda isn't naive to consider him. She shoots him with inside the crotch, making sure that he by no means cheats on anybody else once more. In the subsequent scene, Amanda is with a psychiatrist discussing anger management. She doesn't display any remorse approximately what she did. She is assured that she could do it once more if she had been in this kind of situation. The psychiatrist exhibits that any character together along with her stage of anger problems have to be confined. The facts modifications Amanda's opinion on the entirety, and she or he abruptly feels sorry for what she did. She is allowed pass after she makes the medical doctor consider not anything of such type goes to appear once more. The case has made it to the police and therefore to Amanda's task. She explains to her boss that she become betrayed with the aid of using humans she cherished the most. He contemplates her function of their company and comes to a decision to hearth place her with inside the end. Amanda now no longer desires to stay in Santiago. She packs her luggage and actions to the town of Valparaiso. Her brother has an empty residence that she will be able to live in for the subsequent 6 months. She is likewise assured that she can be able to get a first-rate task with inside the town. The most effective factor Amanda is concerned approximately is being pursued with the aid of using guys. She doesn't need thus far or fall in love with anybody after what came about the final time. However, an appealing younger female like her is by no means left alone. She is going to the church to loosen up and makes buddies with the pastor after telling him of all her problems. He additionally has no instant own circle of relatives participants and lives on his own. He welcomes her to return back to him whenever she desires a chum to speak to. At domestic, Amanda is going via many task emptiness commercials with inside the newspaper. All of them have a demand decrease than her qualification and enjoy. She alternatives one randomly which coincidentally takes place to be an architectural organization just like the one she used to paintings in. Next, she buys a Fats frame healthy, unsightly dentures and prosthetic makeup to make her appearance unattractive. After placing the entirety on, she is unrecognizable, even to the humans she knew earlier. In the subsequent scene, she is going to the organization for an interview. Her boss Max asks her many questions and unearths out she has a husband and sons. Amanda believes that the husband's tale will make her lie extra presentable and decrease male advances. Max doesn't ask for any authentication and hires her due to the enjoy she possesses. For the primary time in her lifestyles, Amanda feels legitimate due to the fact she is certain her splendor didn't get her the task. After that, Max introduces her to the group of workers participants and their roles with inside the group. First is a married guy named Juan. He has 3 kids, a full-time task, and is reading to get his master's degree. Then, there's Karen, a warm younger workplace woman who does the least paintings, however is desired with the aid of using all people due to her splendor. Lastly, we're delivered to an architect named Marcelo. He is the everyday womanizer who judges humans primarily based totally on how appealing they are. Marcelo's everyday lifestyles includes running and bringing domestic a unique girl each night time. He meets Amanda for the primary time and is straightaway repulsed with the aid of using her, given her appearance. Amanda additionally figures out what form of guy he's and quietly curses his shallow thoughts. They warn themselves to live far from every different, unaware that future is ready to intertwine their paths. In the primary assembly, Amanda is advised approximately in vintage Telmex constructing that become recently revamped with the aid of using their company. They have finished the venture, however there was a few interference with inside the constructing's net carrier due to an unknown hassle with the structure. Amanda immediately acknowledges that it have to be due to a VP1 carrier hassle. Karen thinks that Amanda's involvement with the venture will most effective create extra headaches due to the fact she is new to the task. She desires to be the only to resolve the hassle, however Max thinks otherwise. Karen is disregarded, which makes her despise Amanda immediately. Marcelo and Juan are requested to accompany Amanda to the Hassle web page and assist her. The guys aren't satisfied approximately being her assistants, however they oblige anyway. In the subsequent scene, the timber are at the terrace of the constructing. Amanda is running tough to locate the Hassle at the same time as Marcelo is busy boasting approximately his sexual reports to Juan. Amanda tells them the interference have to be coming from the railway station. They visit the area wherein Marcelo and Juan keep their communique at the same time as Amanda works. She ultimately figures out that the water channels that Biscup proper beneath the constructing are interfering with the waves. Amanda and Marcelo pass to test the water channel at the same time as Juan remains to screen, whilst the educate departs. Marcelo remains out of doors to test the frequency, leaving Amanda to enter the channels on her own. She doesn't suit in among one of the gates and takes to the air her fat's healthy. As the group is speaking via walkie-talkies, Amanda's tool stops running. Before she will be able to get dressed, Marcelo involves see if she is okay. Amanda fast flashes her torch mild to his face and says that she needed to take her garments off so that they won't get dirty. Fortunately for her, Marcelo turns round and leaves. After a success day at paintings, the three visit a pub to have some drinks. They drive Amanda's vehicle, which she has packed with kids' stuff to make it appearance extra realistic. At the pub, Marcelo once more cracks sexual jokes, making the different uncomfortable. Juan leaves early to study, leaving Amanda and Marcelo behind. When alone, Amanda calls him out for being a shallow guy. Marcelo proudly consents and claims that kids and marriage are the ends of one's lifestyles. Amanda feels terrible for him due to the fact he's going to by no means enjoy actual friendship and love, one which lasts extra than a nighttime. Marcelo nevertheless describes his dream woman's frame and is unapologetically a womanizer. This infuriates Amanda, reminding her of her ex-boyfriend. Even whilst she is at domestic, she can't stop considering his comments. Upon taking the fat's healthy and wig off, she sees that she looks precisely just like the dream woman he defined. Amanda makes it her challenge to educate Marcelo a lesson and is going to the membership once more, this time dressed as her actual self. When they meet, Marcelo immediately feels drawn to her. Throughout the nighttime, he attempts taking her someplace private. She leads him on, after which rejects him, confusing him if she is involved or now no longer. In the end, she guarantees to fulfill him tomorrow and leaves. The following day, Amanda is going to the pastor and tells him the entirety she did. The guy tells her she goes to remorse final nighttime due to the fact she could have to inform him the fact one day. However, Amanda is adamant, approximately wanting to educate Marcelo a lesson. In the workplace, Marcelo brags approximately assembly a woman with inside the membership and her being completely into him. Amanda is aware of he's exaggerating, however maintains it to herself. In the evening, Marcelo excitedly waits for her to return back to the membership. But after an hour, she texts him that she won't be there. The equal factor takes place tomorrow. After hours of waiting, Marcelo receives a text pronouncing they need to meet at his area tomorrow. At paintings, he brags to Amanda approximately the brand new woman who's so into him that she is coming to his domestic at nighttime. Amanda smiles and listens to his stories, understanding thoroughly that he's mendacity. Marcelo buys takeout and places it on plates to fake that he made it for his date. She quickly arrives and begins off-evolved flirting with him. After ingesting and speaking for it at the same time as matters get steamy, Marcelo is kissing her arm whilst she stops him and says that she goes to be late. After she leaves, he's left stressed due to the fact no girl has ever handled him this way. He pours his frustration onto Amanda at paintings. By now, he has begun out to look her as an real buddy, something he couldn't do with some other girl in his complete lifestyles. Meanwhile, Karen is burning in jealousy due to the fact she has a way down on Marcelo. She spies on the duo all of the time to recognize what they're speaking approximately. Later that day, she asks Amanda approximately her kids. This makes Amanda recognize that if she doesn't display her kids to the humans, they'll in all likelihood begin suspecting her. Hence, she asks the pastor to set up for little boys to return back on a playdate together along with her. The subsequent day, she brings them to the workplace and proves that she is in truth a mother. Surprisingly enough, she sees Marcelo gambling with the youngest kid. He has often defined how lots he hates kids, which appears to have been a lie. At night time, Amanda is going to his residence for a second date. Something approximately Marcelo is unique this time. He places extra attempt into getting to realize her in preference to flirting. Eventually, they visit his mattress and begin making out. Things get heated quite quickly, however they arrive down in and on the spontaneous, whilst Marcelo doesn't get an erection. In the subsequent scene, Marcelo is telling Amanda the entirety that came about. She shows he put extra attempt to affect the brand new woman, like actually cooking for her than ordering takeout. They visit his residence and prepare dinner collectively. This is the primary time Marcelo has had a girl buddy come to his residence, and he feels super approximately it. After ingesting, they visit the terrace and speak for an extended time. Amanda proclaims that Marcelo is frightened of commitment and guarantees that he's going to locate love one day. Suddenly, he leans in and kisses her. He apologizes proper after, however they can't deny the sparks they sense of their hearts. In the subsequent scene, Marcelo is with Max speaking approximately his love lifestyles. Max asks him to shut his eyes and consider a girl. Marcelo doesn't say who he noticed, however is aware of that the woman is the affection of his lifestyles. Later that day, Amanda involves his residence for the 1/3 date. To her surprise, Marcelo says that he's in love together along with her. Amanda is aware of his mendacity and is unhappy that he's nevertheless the equal character. After the entirety they talked approximately. She makes him put on women's garments and cuffs his palms to the mattress frame. But in comparison to what he had expected, she brings out a knife and cuts his stomach. A few hours later, the police arrive on the scene and allow Marcelo free. They recognize that the blood is faux, and the girl simply desired to scare Marcelo. The information makes it to the TV and Marcelo is humiliated. Amanda has taught him a lesson like she desired to, however something doesn't sense proper to her. When she tells the pastor approximately this, he proclaims that she is in love with him. When Marcelo involves the workplace the subsequent time, he tells her that he's a modified guy now. What came about to him the day gone by has made him recognize that she become proper. He has to begin looking for actual love, now no longer simply one nighttime stands. With that being said, he is going out with Karen. At night time, he arrives at Amanda's domestic drunk. She maintains him from seeing her and talks via the door. Marcelo exhibits that he proposed to Karen and goes to marry her this week. However, he additionally exhibits that he's in love with Amanda. She is a ways from his kind in women and is married, however he couldn't fall for her. He is aware of she can be able to by no means be his, that is why he's marrying Karen. Both of them shed tears and separate without pronouncing something else. Then, the day of the marriage ultimately comes. Amanda and Marcelo meet out of doors the church. Amanda attempts telling him the fact, however comes to a decision otherwise. They percentage an emotional hug earlier than the rite begins off evolved. The priest asks Marcelo if he is taking Karen as his lawfully wedded wife. Everyone waits for his solution, however it by no means comes. Suddenly, Amanda sneezes and the faux dentures fall off her mouth. Marcelo takes her wig off, ultimately understanding the fact. The scene cuts to 3 years later. Amanda and Marcelo are married with 3 kids and a 4th one at the way. They stay as satisfied lifestyles with their own circle of relatives. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.